Hey, fourth grade, it's Miss Terry, and I brought my cousin Elizabeth.
Hi, guys.
And this is her beautiful rock collection. Elizabeth, what kind of rocks are these ones?
So our first section is metamorphic rocks.
Ah, so we have some metamorphic rocks. And then what about this group of rocks?
That is our igneous rocks.
And then the last type of rocks?
Is sedimentary.
Sedimentary rocks. Now, fourth grade, as we've talked about in class, metamorphic rocks are deep inside the earth. These are rocks that,
Pressure.
oh yeah, the pressure is from all directions. So you could push from one side on the other and it causes a ripple in the rock. Igneous rocks are, no, igneous isn't layered, that's sedimentary.
Just kidding.
Igneous rocks are rocks that are formed from magma or lava. They're formed inside the ground. Which creates air bubbles, and they also create, mostly air bubbles, and mineral chunks. So if you look at a countertop, if there's different chunks in that countertop, it's most likely made from an igneous rock. So there's different chunks of minerals. And then also let's go back over to metamorphic rocks. So metamorphic rocks have different layers. And the layers can be wiggly and different layered or different angles for the different minerals. And remember, minerals are different from rocks because they are one type of element, while rocks are a combination of different minerals. And then our last group that we have are sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks are formed, are layered. There's different layers in them, and they're very flat layers. That's because they are pressed down, unlike metamorphic rocks are pressed from all directions. These are pressed mostly going downwards. Now we did the layers. Now, right here for igneous rocks, what is that called again?
Calcite.
Calcite. So if you see the little white line in it, that's a mineral that's formed inside a rock.
There's also this one, which has almost zebra or lion stripes.
Now, if you remember, when we do rocks, rock or weathering, weathering is breaking apart a rock. This rock, to form these lines, the rock was broken apart but is still near each other. Then erosion is movement of particles. Water or calcite, it's called calcite.
Mm-hmm.
Calcite minerals inside water flow through this, and it's solidified, filling in the gaps. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, at the beginning of the year, we showed different ways of testing different minerals and seeing what ones are different types. How do we check if it's calcite?
So what's on this big one is calcite also. So I have a little chunk of it in my hand here. Calcite is one of the coolest minerals that we have because you can test it with what is a mix of what is called hydraulic acid and water. Now be careful, only use this if you have a parent with you. So you can take your mineral and your solution, and if you put it on, come really close. If you put it on, you can see bubbling, and sometimes you can hear it. And that's how you know when it is calcite.
Did you test all these to see if it's calcite?
Yes, I did.
Perfect. All right, now last thing we're going to be talking about is different sedimentary rocks. This one is a geode, correct? This geode has different minerals inside it, and you can see the lines. If you notice on the side, these are lines that are pressed. They're flat lines, and there's crystals inside. This one is this is the sandstone. Mm-hmm. This one is sandstone. You know it's sandstone because it's very green. It's very rough and very grainy, and so that's one way you can tell sandstone. Now, all these rocks have been found in Utah, near your backyard, right?
Yes.
Now, is there a reason why there's not very metamorphic rocks, but there's so much of sedimentary rocks that you have?
Yes, so metamorphic rocks are deep down in the earth. And so right here in my backyard, there's not very much deep down in the earth. But if we go up into the mountains and you try and find a bunch of rocks, that's where you're going to find a lot of metamorphic, because the mountains are where the deep down inside have come up.
Perfect. Now, just for one last review, any of these rocks, metamorphic, igneous, or sedimentary, can become another type of rock based on how they're developed. So metamorphic rocks are formed deep inside the earth, and they're pressured. These are the oldest types of rocks being pressured into this new rock of metamorphic. While igneous are the newest types of rocks. They're formed when rocks are melted by magma, and it becomes this new rock of igneous, which creates the air bubbles. And sedimentary is when any of these two types of rocks get weathered down and the erosion gets pressed on top of one another. And that's why it creates these lines of horizontal. Okay? Is there anything else you would like to add?
Not that I can think of.
All right, perfect. 4th grade, have a great day. Thanks.